Good evening. This is Luke Thomas, QuakePrediction.com here with the Earthquake Channel. It is 9:16 in the evening on Thursday, February 18th, 2021. Going straight over to our forecast here, and we are going to start it with what has happened in the last 24 hours. There was one earthquake in our forecast area that was 5.0 larger, and that was this 5.2 south of Quito, Ecuador. Quito is our forecast area. And this 5.2 happened 260 miles south, or about 418 kilometers south of Quito, Ecuador, so quite a ways away. And we'll get to that in a second on the other forecast. And this 3.4 originally was a 3.5. 3.4 occurred 52 miles southeast of, here's Mammoth Lakes here, southeast of Mammoth Lakes. And you can see Mammoth Lakes is right in here. And that was in our forecast yesterday. If you watched the video from yesterday, the most significant earthquake in California was right there, just southeast of Mammoth Lakes. And our forecast was at 100% Mammoth Lakes the day before yesterday, and also today, the 17th, or the 17th, it was on at 100%. So this was from yesterday, or the 16th. We had a 5.5 in Greece at 92% risk, 5.1 in Taiwan at 63% risk. And today's forecast, before we updated it just recently, we got this 5.2 in Ecuador, which was at 52%. So far with this format, we had a 5.5. The biggest quake in the last couple of days was in this 92% risk here in Western Greece. And this one from yesterday, we had a 3.5 in the Mammoth Lakes area, which was at 100%. And that was the highest risk in all of California. And a 5.2 in Quito south, 400 kilometers south of Quito at 52% risk there. So let's take a look at the forecast for the next 24 hours. Mammoth Lakes is still very high risk in Mammoth Lakes. Eureka, which is in the northwest part of California, is at 95%. Ridgecrest is at 90%. And Ontario is at 80%, which is east of Los Angeles. And Portland at 85% has been rising. So yesterday, we were thinking a much larger earthquake would hit East Central California. Excuse me. But we got a 3.5, changed to 3.4. And we still think something larger could happen in the Mammoth Lakes to Ridgecrest area. So we'll put that in the forecast today, but we'll wait and see. The risk is still very high. So 6.0 earthquake is still possible in the East Central California from Mammoth Lakes down to Ridgecrest. And risk is still high in Eureka as well, and Portland, 85%. And the world forecast, Mexico City, we just added Mexico City today. And that risk turned out to be 95%. So very high risk down in southern Mexico near Mexico City. And the risk remains high in Cyprus at 98%, and all of northern Italy, including Zagreb, Croatia, at 98 or 100%. So something big is going to happen up in northern Italy during the next 48 hours. They just got a 4.0 in Zagreb, but I think something much larger is going to happen in Italy during the next 48 hours. We'll keep an eye on that. Puerto Rico is at 79% and rising. Guatemala is 77 and rising, and Greece is at 77. That risk has been falling. Or that's Zakynthos. Remember, that was at 92%, and they had a 5.5. So the risk is falling there. But risk remains very high in Italy. So expecting a 5.0 or larger in northern Italy during the next 48 hours. Let's take a look at the Japan forecast quickly. And you can see the risk still remains high near Tottori, which is northwest of Kyoto, and Kyoto is northeast of Osaka. Hiroshima is in western Japan. So still expecting something out in this Shimane prefecture or Tottori prefecture or Kyoto in the western portion of Japan during the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll see what happens there. So this is a very interesting format. We'll look at Los Angeles once more. You give the percentage for each city. So Las Vegas down here is the lowest risk. Seattle is the next lowest. San Diego and so on. You notice El Centro was very low yesterday at about 10% and has risen to 50%. So the risk is rising in El Centro. So you can kind of keep an eye on your city and see where your risk is. Mammoth Lakes still very high, even after that 3.4, and Eureka still high at 95, and Ridgecrest still high at 90%. So we're going to continue that warning for Mammoth Lakes to Ridgecrest tonight. And again, for northern Italy as well, looking for a strong earthquake, and western Japan could get a 5.0 larger as well. Thanks again for subscribing. We're been working on this for 15 years, over 15 years now, and appreciate your support. And we're getting very, very close on our forecast. This is very exciting with this new format we have here, and we'll keep you informed daily. We'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll see what happens in northern Italy and in East Central California, where that risk is very high in Mammoth Lakes. And we'll see what happens in Western Japan as well. Thank you so much. Again, Luke Thomas here, quakeprediction.com. And have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.